Enter the Gungeon is sort of a wild card on date night. Some nights we play and have the time of our lives, and others, the game spanks us with a wet noodle. This game, like so many others we play, falls into the category of I'm not good, but the game is. A lot happens all at once. There's a bunch of bullets on the screen, and they all fire a million tiny bullets, and then after they die, you pick up even tinier bullets and then trade them at a shop to a guy sometimes so you can buy more bullets. But that's just Gungeon Date Night. In this game, you die a lot, and I really do mean a lot. I've got the death screen burned into the back of my eyes. Difficult games walk the line between being frustrating and challenging for me, and it always comes down to whether or not dying feels fair.
Yeah, I deserve that.
In Gungeon, most of the time I'm at peace with how it got me. Either I was slow, careless, panicking, or just plain dumb.
We were right there in it, and you were too slow, you didn't remember to do shit, you didn't do what I told you, and things got crossed, chakras were fucking exploded.
Either way, I can usually list about 7 things I could have done better to preserve my health that little bit longer in a tough fight or difficult room.
Woo! Love arrows.
No, I'm hit.
Oh, we got a girlfriend down.
It says a lot that after a crippling defeat on a good run, we'll alt F4 and call it quits for the night, only to load up the game 3 minutes later and try again. My boyfriend always lets me be player 1, because apparently giving me all the agency in games makes it more fun for him. The real reason is that he doesn't have to pick a character, because player 2 is always the cultist. I go back and forth a lot between the convict and the hunter. When it comes down to it though, the hunter usually wins purely because she has a dog. The cultist is the perfect fit for my boyfriend, because he shows up not taking things too seriously and fires Nerf bullets at everyone. At least he remembered to pack a revive, because come on, he knows who he's playing with.
I'm gonna pick the convict because she's blonde.
I thought you were gonna pick the hunter because she gets a dog.
Wait, the hunter gets a dog? How do I go back?
It's okay. You could pick a different character after we die. Well, that happened faster than I thought it would.
Sometimes the rooms themselves are more dangerous than the enemies waiting inside them. There are spikes on the floor, falling chandeliers, and of course the girlfriend's natural predator, the pit of death. With all the flashy color and craziness on screen, it's no surprise I find myself tumbling down these holes every 5 minutes.
God damn it.
Uh-oh.
Why did I even go over there? There's nothing over there.
Gun upgrades are fun, and we always do a pretty good job making sure each person gets a turn using a cool one when we find it. Of course, leaving it on the ground is a poor choice, as there are rats among us and nothing is off limits. I've definitely noticed a trend between me and my boyfriend. He tends to enjoy the slow charge-up weapons that deliver a mean punch when you land a shot, like the bow or the charge gun. I, on the other hand, like the rapid-fire weapons, because I already have enough to think about without needing to hold down a button to charge. There are rare situations where you don't find any guns, because when your partner dies, any chest you find gets replaced with a revive for them instead. Some runs are doomed from the start, and the main hallmark is that I'll jump out of a chest more than once on the first floor.
Boy, I hope it's a gun.
Ta-da!
Oh, it's just a girlfriend.
Hey!
I am the absolute queen of entering a room with an empty clip in my gun. Sometimes you'll walk into a room and immediately register what the biggest threat is to your survival and want to gun it down. We always try and double team the scariest enemy first in order to keep the girlfriend dodge rolling tally to a minimum. Our strategy works like a quarter of the time, but is severely hindered by the lack of bullets in my weapon.
Oh shit, I forgot to reload.
Oh no!
We get a power known as a blank, which lets you nullify all the bullets on screen when you get into a pinch. The only problem is I never remember that I have them, and when I do, I always seem to forget what button to push to execute them.
Oh my god, I need a blank.
How do I do that again?
You activate it by pushing both analog sticks in, which is exactly what I do when I start getting nervous, so 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see me either never use them or die trying.
No, I died!
I'm just surprised you remember to use your blanks.
As a ghost, I actually remember to shoot my blanks because it's literally the only thing I have to do. I've come in clutch a handful of times when I post-mortem blank shots, but there are just as many where I flashed my boyfriend at a bad time and I blinded him with my glorious light.
No! Oh, I know you're trying to help, but I kind of couldn't see.
Oh, I'm sorry!
Flipping tables is my favorite thing in this game. First of all, I should start by saying it's a super basic mechanic that is totally meant to be utilized when you need cover and have nowhere to hide. The reality is, I always forget it's something I can do, and I'm usually just standing out in the open with shots coming in at all angles. Luckily, my boyfriend is there to swoop in and flip over a table and push it in front of me to create cover. I know it's just a game, but there's something really hot and romantic about it. In my moment of greatest need, here comes this purple-hooded little gremlin with the closest piece of plywood he could find.
Hey, scooch over a little bit, buddy.
The ultimate villain of any couch co-op love story has always been and will always be the camera. Gungeon's camera can be a little funky at times, and we tend to mess each other up with it. Getting separated means certain death, because the camera can't decide who it wants to fuck over and just decides to do it to both of us. We do our best to stay near one another, but when the dodge rolls start flying, it's hard to keep up with him. It's not really that big of a deal though, because it acts as a pretty nice scapegoat when we try and justify why we played like complete morons in our previous attempt. We always run into the same issues with shops and roguelikes. We'll limp our way into a store with like half our health gone, and there will be 2 beautiful hearts for sale on the counter just waiting to be mine. My boyfriend will look at our money and then the 2 hearts and just say, nah, let's save it for something later. As if there is a later, we're literally gonna get wiped out on the next room, and those hearts could have made a difference.
Just need to get to that cookie.
Of course, it's all thanks to a very unfortunate incident where I bought a heart container one time and it just had to be a floor where we didn't find the key. Now, all I ever hear about is how we could have bought one in the shop if we hadn't spent all our cash on health. It's because of this that I feel no remorse for dying at the beginning of a boss and making him fight with nothing but his Nerf gun for 6 minutes. Every now and again, my boyfriend will go down first, and it's up to me to carry us to victory. It's a coin toss whether I step up to the occasion or completely crash and burn, but I'll tell you, when I get to save the day, it gives me a euphoria you can't even imagine.
Oh,
I did it! I killed
nice.
him! That was the most stressful 2 minutes of my life.
In the mad haze that is Gungeon, I feel like all I hear for an hour and a half is my boyfriend telling me to keep moving. It's a phrase I sometimes take a little too literally, which results in panic dodge rolls off cliffs. I still haven't mastered the concept of using my roll as a dodge and not just as a means to get around quicker, but someday I'm gonna learn to chill the fuck out and Gungeon won't know what hit it. In the meantime, I still want to see what happens if you fire too much in the shop.
Oh, now you did it.
Ah! Oh my god!